Hello everyone, we're reaching the end of Aqualis. According to this, natural life is the final stage before terraformation completion. We are about to hit that. I imagine it happens at 1.10 TTI, that's also when we unlock our animal food. Seeing as the quasar quartz is at 7 TTI, there is a big chance that that is the final air that we need, and we don't have enough items to properly get to that stage. Not on Aqualis itself, at least. Before we call it an end on Aqualis, what I do want to do is I want to create this space right here into a sleeping/living area. However, I might switch it out to a 2x2 as a 3x3 area is kinda large. And we did it. We hit natural life. I mean, it's going slow, but it's not going extremely slow. But it is still pretty damn slow. And a new island should pop up as well, or an extension, similar to what happened over here. And let's see how much fabric we can make with the silk we got. I do have a ton of silkworms, so we could potentially make a silkworm farm. Yeah, I gotta say I like this size a lot more. And we're missing one fabric for a sofa. Yeah, of course we would. Alright, well let's make that silk generator. You know, I'm surprised no island has popped up yet. It has been a little while after we got natural life. It's kind of concerning. Alright, we have the supplies to create the silkworms. They're going to be chilling next to a furnace. I'm sure the heat will be good for them, right? Wow, I just made the spacesuit displayer. Let's see what the new spacesuit looks like. It looks very tropical. I guess makes sense. Aqualis does seem like that, or at least this starting area. Well, I think this is as much as I can have it decorated with the limited supplies we have. So I think it looks pretty good for the minimal stuff we can place. Probably an even smaller bedroom would have worked, but I like this quite a bit. Alright, we've also been in the natural life stage for a little while now. Nothing else seemed to have popped up in that meantime, meaning that was either the final island, or it's gonna take a long time before we get the next one. But I think it's time for us to break some of the rules we set. I want to head back to Prime to create more tier-free tree spreaders, as we don't have access to fertilizer on this planet, as we never got the eggplant seeds. Besides that, we're also running low on sulfur, making it very hard to make tier 2 optimizers, as well as obsidian, I suppose. And that is not farmable here as far as I know. So for the first time in a long time, what does it cost for us to go back? I did bring some supplies with me. Everything except for the rocket engine, by the looks of it. Which I doubt we got. We got a tier 2 variant, but I don't think I can make that just yet. So I don't know if I should. Yeah, it's gonna take a while for us to make the tier 2 rocket engine, so I don't think we should dismantle that. Yeah, these were the only supplies I brought with me from Prime beforehand. For a situation like this, where we wanted to go back. Alright, what does it cost? Honestly, it isn't that expensive. Luckily enough, we had one super alloy left. So we can make that. I also already ordered a bunch of oxygen multipliers. This should be enough for 5 of the optimizers. And let's make interplanetary space travel again. And then go to Prime. Love how the entire UI disappears except for what I pinned. Let's destroy that. What do we get back? Nothing. You have to rebuild the thing every damn time? It's gonna be a lot more expensive than I thought it would be. It seems like a quartz rock, so I'm not too interested. Well, I guess first things first then. Make another one of these rockets. Luckily here on Prime we're loaded in resources. Let's see, I want to have 5 of these machine optimizers. You know, I forgot how good the other trees were, so I'm just gonna take 2 of these Lilius trees with me. This should be enough for at least 4 tier-free tree spreaders. I do think the new trees were either on par or slightly better. I'm not sure if it was 1200% or 1300. They did 1300, so they are the new best tree. Which in that case, let's dump these, replace them. Alright, let's see how big of an increase this is. We're sitting at 500,000 ppq for oxygen. Let's see what happens when we put down these multipliers. I will admit, I'm not sure if it multiplies the base or the current one after we placed in the trees, because that would change the number kind of a lot. So basically it seems like it multiplies just the base, which, well, isn't that much, to be fair. But actually looking at it, it's a lot more than the tier 5 drills, so this should be going rather quickly now. Yeah, we went from 500,000 to almost 4. Now this is still hardly moving, but it's moving faster, that's for sure. I also wonder what will happen if we load up our entire inventory full of supplies for seed spreader rockets, and then launch all of those into the sky. Alright, we can go back. I have enough stuff for 7 rockets, which honestly is less than I thought. Alright, so let's see. From 3.8 we go to, after we launch 5 seed rockets. Or 7 seed rockets, not 5. Look at them all go. Looks funny every time. Alright, that is a big boost. 270 million. Is that a big boost for here, though? No. I'm also looking at this, right? I want to unlock these 2. We need something big here as well. And the tier 3 butterfly dome could potentially help with that. We just need to make a bunch of tier 3 fertilizer. Which I think was just tier 2s combined with phosphorus. Yes. Which means we need to bring a bunch of phosphorus back to Prime. Craft up a bunch of tier 3s. And we can make a couple biodomes, or butterfly dome tier 3s. We put in the golden butterfly. That should not only boost our general TI by quite a bit, but also the biomass. And I'm going to bring a couple things with me. We're going to have to calculate that. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 8 bio nuggets here already. I want to bring as little supplies as I can. So if we can bring enough for 8 of these, that would be great. Do we have enough golden? Do we have any golden? We do not. Well, that kind of throws a damper in my plans. I'm going to get rid of my primary way to find the golden larvae. You cannot see them anymore in autocrafters. Sad. Now I have to individually inspect every little dude. Either that or just switch to a different larva, because it's not going to be worth it. However, I do remember having a tier 2 butterfly dome somewhere around here. Prime doesn't really need it anymore, so snag these bad boys out. They are a lot more. The golden ones do give 300% extra. I think that is the only golden butterfly dome I have around, though. Well, I can see them swarm over here. Actually, yeah, I have these butterfly pawns. You know what? I'm also not sure how many of them fit in this one. I mean, it's 2 in the tier 2. Let's make one and see real quick. Oh, actually, that's a lot smaller than I thought it would be. 3 of them fit in here. And that's what I was expecting. It would be more. And also, we're gonna need way more butterflies anyway, because I said we had 8. I was only bringing 8 butterflies. But yeah, we need tons more. Yeah, remember when I said I wasn't too interested in all these pulsar quartz? Yeah, it turns out we ran out. Which is dangerous, because it means we can only make one more trip so far. This is going to be our final trip back and forth, just because I can't afford it otherwise. We have to figure out a better way to get pulsar quartz. Or another way, anyway. I thought we were drilling for them, but turns out we were not. I guess that isn't a thing. It's been a while since I set them up, so I can't really remember. I know that there's a quartz cave, which is why I thought I was mining them there. I looked on the map, though, and it doesn't seem like that is a resource we can mine. So that's not great. However, though, we did go quite a far way already. 15%? I think we were at 7 when we left for Prime. Yeah, currently, insects is at 135G, which is not a lot. Then looks like a mess, but it's a good mess. So, let's see, we went from 135 to 1.5 million. Yeah, that makes that go up a lot quicker, that's good. It is still gonna take a while for us to unlock the trees. And we cannot boost these with fuses, as we don't have an insect boost in fuse. Do we unlock that anywhere? The grower multiplier, which I think is plants. We already have access to that. We have access to all of these, actually, for space trading. And we unlocked animals on this planet, which is fine and fun, but we don't have access to it anyway, because in order to craft fuses, we actually need to have something... Actually, I don't know what we need to have. Maybe the quartz crafting station? I imagine we can craft quartz with this, but maybe also the fuses? Because it's not part of these crafting stations. Unless it's part of the biolab? Nope. We don't have access to this one, because we need that quartz. And while we have one, technically, I don't want to use that one in particular. And I'm not 100% sure when they start growing or unlocking on this planet. Might very well be that they already have. Seeing as there's not much to do than that, we may as well go and explore that. You know what, let's go to the Super Alloy Island first. It was the first one we ever got. First one we unlocked, rather. I know of a very specific location over there that has a Cosmic Court. I know in Humble they unlocked very late into our adventure, but I don't exactly remember when. Of course this is a moon, so it's different, but we are on the final stage right now, so it could very well be that they opened up. Oh, I see something glowing. Heck yeah. Cosmic Courts are unlocked, which means technically we are able to make this. And there's some other tools as well, like the backpack upgrade. And I think the oxygen upgrade required it too. I think with that, I'm just gonna do some sweeps around the outer islands that we unlock over time. See if I can find some of these Cosmic Courts. I'm also wondering, right, what happens when you get stuck on one of these moons? Because there's no way for us to get many more resources. And some resources are just off limits to us, like the fertilizer. Meteors don't seem to drop here very often, which means pulsar cores are going to be nigh impossible to get. We'll say though, this sweep around the islands is also going to be a good way for us to check if something changed. Kinda doubt it has. Aqualis doesn't seem like the planet that really changes anything. It just pops up more islands. As expected, this actually grew a route to the very top, so this is when we were supposed to see this place. So yeah, this island changed slightly. Right, there we go. I think that's all the Cosmic Quartz on this island, which was 2. One at the bottom, one at the very top. On opposite side of the islands as well. I know that there's at least 3 on this one, on top of each point. I don't remember if there's any others though. Being that that is the case, is there a way for us to properly get up these pillars now? I don't see any. You would either have to build up there, or you have to make use of this unstuck button exploit. Yeah, even on this next layer, there's no way to get all the way to the top, and I don't think your jetpack can do it. Nope. And there is one all the way up here too, so... And it doesn't glow at night, because I've never seen it shine, like all the way from down there. So it's very odd that they placed them all the way up here. I get the second one, and then we jump all the way down. I can't see a damn thing, but I think we need to be over on that one. Let's hope. Yeah, this is the one we didn't collect yet. It's weird, this is like the only one that has a proper path to it, but also not a path all the way up. In the news, the frogs have appeared on the island. Pretty sure there was another Cosmic Quartz on this island, but I can't find it for the life of me. So I guess we'll just move on for now. Towards the shell homes. I'm trying to think, but I don't remember seeing a Cosmic Court location on here. Also, something I noticed is this place has a lot of claims that I missed. Well, I'm gonna say that this island is cleared. I didn't find any Cosmic Quartz. I'm pretty sure this one right here at least had one of them. Well, I thought this one had a Cosmic Quartz, but I can't seem to find it. To be fair, it's very hard to navigate your way around this place compared to many of the other islands. Let's head back to base. So looking at it, we got 6 Cosmic Quartz, which isn't too bad. We're 31% to the completion of the terraformation. So let's see if we can make the quartz crafting station. Because I'm kind of interested to see what it can make. Right, yeah, as expected, we can make fuses, but also we can now make pulsar quartz. And all this stuff is farmable. So that's good. That means that with all these supplies, we build one of these pulsar quartz, or pulsar, whatever the heck this is, quartz crafting stations on Prime. We can infinitely make the pulsar quartz. We also have access to tier 5 oxygen as well as tier 7 backpacks, which currently we're not able to make on Aqualis. With their new knowledge in hand and the ability to craft quartz, let's head back to Prime. The good thing is, now that we unlocked the quartz crafter, we can set this one to pulsar quartz. So this is now infinitely making pulsar quartz. That should be fantastic. I'm gonna set this one back to fusion cell generation. Let's see what we need for the backpack upgrade. And suddenly this recipe seems a lot less daunting. Alright, so we go from these amount of slots, which are 5 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which is 5 by 9, which is 45. To a 6x9, which is 54. So that's a 9 slot difference, which not that bad. Oxygen, not really going to help us out currently, but there are 2 other locations we got to travel to, Selenea as well as Humble, on this save file. So extra oxygen would be great, but that does mean we go from 370 to 450. That's a 80% extra, or 80, whatever it is extra, 80 seconds. Well, 1.9 on Aqualis, so I don't think those are seconds. Oxygen units, I guess. But actually, though, insect multiplier fuse, we don't have access to this from the trading, so let's make free insect fuses. Do we need cosmic quartz for anything else, actually? I don't think so, right? Not at the moment, anyway. No, I don't think so. And let's see, we go from 1.6 million grams. At least that's what I imagined the G would stand for. Also, nicely enough, this machine can power 8 of them. And we have 8 butterfly tier 3s. But we went all the way up to 3.2, which honestly isn't as much as I thought, but that basically kind of doubled what we had before. I guess now it's just going to be a waiting game. I think the craziest part is this system terraformation index. It requires so much. Like for the next one, which is tier 2 plant rocket, we already need 5 OC Cystii. I imagine OC comes after SP. We just passed 1/10 of 1 OC. And that's after years of playing. Which means after this adventure is done, we got stuff settled on Humble as well as Selenea. I think it's time to boost Prime to its max potential. For now though, I don't see anything change on the planet. So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm gonna leave the game running while I do other stuff like edit this video. So I'll be right back when we get close to the completion. Right, I overshot it by a little bit, but we've made it. Terraformation is complete on Aqualis. In the meantime, I also shot some insect rockets into the atmosphere, so this went a lot faster. And we now have every blueprint unlocked. And you might wonder what we get for completing Aqualis. Well, besides getting all the recipes, these unique items, well, minus the cosmic cord, I suppose, with the tree, fish, frog, this poster, this effigy, and phosphorus are unique to Aqualis. We also got a new message from Sentinel Corp. Let's read it. Congratulations, you have terraformed a stellar body of type ocean planet. That sentence is kinda confusing to read out, but alright. Your achievement granted us insightful data about the terraformation on this kind of moon. This will potentially increase the success rate of other convicts across galaxies. In the next months, we will continue scanning your sector to see there's other potential planet candidates for terraforming. This last part is kinda real though. There is a DLC upcoming. It seems like viruses or something, a DNA type, is gonna be big. If I looked at the picture that was supposed to represent it on the roadmap, but that DLC is supposed to come out this year still. But yeah, that's it. That's also the only message we got. I feel like we probably get the same message on Selenea, except for this first bit, being as Selenea is not an ocean type planet or moon. I guess now it's time for us to go back to Prime and prepare our journey to go to Selenea. Maybe I will create a phosphorus farm in the future and have it sent over via interplanetary rockets. Seeing as it costs cosmic quartz, and this one in particular a tier 2 rocket engine, I'm gonna hold off on that for a while. We only have one of these after all, and phosphorus isn't that useful besides tier 3 fertilizer. Which, to be fair, butterfly farms are pretty good, so we might have to do that sooner rather than later, but we'll see. These are the last of the quartz that I'm taking home to Prime. I've been spending quite a lot of time on Aqualis now, but it's time for us to go back to Prime.